Hey, welcome. Hey, welcome. Hit that like button. Come on up in here. Welcome this RG from the RG Swac Sports Network. I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong, and I ain't gonna keep you that long tonight. But we gotta talk about a little stuff, man. Mount Rushmore. Who's on your Mount Rushmore? Huh? What do you think about Michael Vick and BT and Michael Strahan, them all coming together, making some little video and all that other cool stuff that they doing? Is it helpful? Is it exposing us, or is it putting a spotlight on us, or is it making him look better? Redemption from, they still messing with that man about his past, which he served time for. In my opinion, if you serve time and you complete your sentence, ain't nothing can be said about you. I may not like the crime, but if you did your time behind the walls, I can't say nothing, bro. So, but my opinion about the whole thing, I think it's just exposing him to make him look better to get another coaching job. I'm talking about Vic. But anyway, man, we're gonna get into all that cool stuff, man. But we gonna where's my thing at? I got gonna tell y'all why we eat red beans.
The reason we eat red beans on Monday in Louisiana, and it's deeper than you think. It's not just a recipe, it's a rhythm. Back in the day, Monday was wash day. That meant clothes in boiling pots, scrubbing boards, hours bent over buckets. No time to cook, so families made something that could simmer all day without being watched. Red beans. And because most folks were Catholic, Monday followed Sunday's meal, usually with a leftover ham bone. Throw that in with your beans, onions, and seasoning, and let the house smell like home for hours. It wasn't fancy, but it meant family was fed. Some grandmas swore by stirring it 3 times clockwise for good luck. Others wouldn't serve it without cornbread or sausage if they had it. Today, we eat it out of habit, but every bite still carries the same deep tradition. Did your family ever cook red beans on Mondays? And if you want more stories about why Louisiana does what it does, click subscribe. There's a reason we eat red beans on Monday in Louisiana, and it's deeper than you think. It's not just a recipe, it's a rhythm.
I ain't want to play that thing again, man. But hey, it's Monday, man. It's red beans and rice Monday. That's a tradition go back way before folks realized, man, that black folks can make a meal out of anything. You take that ham bone, especially on a day like today, because you didn't had your Easter ham or whatever, man, and you soak them beans on Sunday, and then Monday morning you put them in an old crock pot, or you put them in a pot. You put the Holy Trinity up in there, and then you just let them old beans, cook all night. I'm always eating red beans and rice on Monday without a ham bone. I use ham shanks and everything else, man. But anyway, man, hey, as the NFL draft is about to come up, man, the NFL draft is about to come up, and hold on, let me get this thing on here so y'all can see me. Yeah, the NFL draft is about to come up, right? And you will be surprised of how many people do not know that the first black quarterback drafted in a first round was not only from an HBCU, but he was from the SWAC. I was shocked that people did not know that Doug Williams was the first black quarterback drafted in the first round. They was trying to figure out like they thought it was somebody else. I said, bro, Ohio State, Michigan, and all them other folks were not having no black quarterbacks like that, man. But you had black quarterbacks in the league, but they was not drafted in the first round, and they was mainly running quarterbacks in college, though. But I mean, and shout out to Tampa Bay, man. They actually did something. I was impressed. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. But let me share this with you, man, before we get into the thing, man. This was a nice little thing they did, man, and I was kind of like, all right. But I knew this though. You know, this I think they call it what? Yeah, Doug Williams, elite Tampa Bay or something like that.
The most important addition was number 1 draft pick Doug Williams, a quarterback out of Grambling who put some snap into John McKay's offense. In 1978, the most important addition was number 1 draft pick Doug Williams, a quarterback out of Grambling who put some snap into John McKay's offense. The Bears fell beneath a 33-point Buccaneer barrage, and Tampa Bay became a contender. What Doug Williams has done for Tampa Bay is to bring boundless physical skills to the quarterback position, finally filling a fatal flaw in the Buccaneer offense. Of course, not every pass will be perfect, but Buck receivers can catch it anyway. When Williams... There was also speed and depth at tight end with Jimmy Giles, number 88, and Jim Obratovich as the Bucks won, sitting down 31-16.
Threw that pass off his behind on the guy.
From the coach who caught a lot of help for bringing me here. Everybody else. And bringing everybody, all the other hoods here, too. Here it is, Coach McCain, you guys.
There he is, man. So when somebody asks you who's the first black quarterback ever drafted in the first round, you can tell them it was 50 football seasons ago, and it was the great Doug Williams. Went on to be the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, start and win the Super Bowl. But yeah, a lot of people did not know that Doug Williams was the first black quarterback drafted in the first round. And I think Tampa Bay had like the number 17 pick or something like that. I mean, so of course they doubted him, and Tampa really didn't try to help the man. They were horrible, man. But hey, legend has it, baby. Doug was the man in Tampa and the man in DC. Now he demands respect, and respect is earned and is given to him. So shout out to Doug Williams, man. That's something that you didn't know, now you know. You heard it from your Uncle Owen. The first black quarterback drafted in the first round and started was Doug Williams. Good dude, man. So, but that's what's going on, man, with that there, man. But how y'all doing tonight? Everybody up in there? Yes, Doug was the man. Brother, you cannot get me to argue with that, man. You know, Tampa Bay was horrible. And like I said, I believe they tried to set him up to fail. Here we go with this glitching stuff. Okay. Yeah, but Doug, man, his demeanor on the field. Oh, and I think this is Alabama State. I think this is tennis or something they won. Yeah, they SWAC champs in tennis. You know, I like to congratulate all champions, man.
There he job. Good job, guys.
Yeah, that's tennis. Alabama State, they SWAC champs. Yeah, good for them, huh? Go ahead on, Alabama. Go ahead on, Hornets. Yeah, they actually won something. So they'll be tripping on that, man. Now, look, man, speaking of the draft that's coming up, this right here, man, and I like how they put this little highlight film together from this brother here, and we need to see more of this. I keep telling folks, man, we have to create and make more. And for our players and for ourselves. The man.
There's some guys who showed some upside in Irv Mulligan.
Dad, tell me about the beast they call Irv Mulligan.
Irv Mulligan, the #1 running back in the SWAC. Irv Mulligan.
So let's get into some guys who showed some upside.
All right. Okay. But that with Irv Mulligan, that is what we need to see a lot more of, man. But we have to do stuff like that. What's going on, Brother Bakar? We have to do stuff like that, man. But I was looking at have you seen the picture? My Mount Rushmore. It said HBCU. But I'm thinking my Mount Rushmore for the SWAC. The first 5 names that come to my mind when I think of SWAC football. #1, Walter Payton. #2, Coach Eddie Robinson from Grambling. #3, Jerry Rice. Those top 3 there, and then I'm like, okay, I cannot without W.C. Gordon. That's #4. And then 5, I was like, I said I can't leave out Steve McNair. So that's my Mount Rushmore for the SWAC. Now, if you have, I understand it's different between coaches and players, but I was like, just the first 5 names that come to my mind. And I know about Deacon Jones, and I know about Archie Cooley, the gunslinger, and I was struggling with Archie Cooley and Coach Willie Totten. I mean, it's so many names, but my top 5, when I think of it, because what McNair did in the 90s, what Walter did in the 70s, and what Jerry did in the 80s, those 3 players, man, that's so and then I struggle with Deacon Jones because Deacon Jones created what you call the sack, the head slap in the sack. But that's my Mount Rushmore. So what is your Mount Rushmore for the SWAC football? It can be 5 from your team, and folks gonna be like, you just showed Doug Williams and you didn't have Doug Williams in the on the Mount Rushmore. I mean, it's rough not to have Doug on there, but I can't leave out his coach and remove him. W.C. Gordon, what he did at Jackson State, can't do that. Was Doug Williams better than McNair in college? I know it's 2 totally different generations, but McNair was just so electrifying. And there's no way in the hell, if you don't name Jerry Rice and Walter Payton in your top 2 of football, you don't know what the hell you're talking about when it comes to football. So Doug Williams, I'm not saying he can't be on Mount Rushmore, but I don't think, just for me. Now his coach is on there, definitely. His coach is on there, but I don't see So, but I mean, that's just my five. So if you want to put your 5 in the chat, or I can hit the link. I drop the link and you can come up and tell me your 5. It don't, like I said, it don't have to be 5 players, or it can be 5 coaches or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely drop this link, and that's what I really want to talk about. Name your Mount Rushmore. For the SWAC football. For football in the SWAC. That's what it is. Because, I mean, like I said, I'm not going to be on here too long tonight, but, man, I wanted to check in and check bases with everybody and let you know I'm still here. We're going to look at the football scores in a minute. Not football, damn. Baseball and softball. And then we're going to, nobody want to come up and tell me they top 5. We can go head on to the house. And I go back to eating. And no, this is not a pro-Trump shirt. Oh, let me blow this up bigger, man, because I know somebody going to think that I'm saying, no, what it's saying is, it's telling Donald Trump, I'm a proud African-American. I'm not living in hell. I'm very educated. I'm employed. I don't live in public housing. And I think it says, you can't see the rest of it. It says, America was never been great. And it says, sign the blacks. That's what it says. You can't see the whole shirt. But this is not a pro-Trump shirt. Never. Never. Don't ever think of that, man. So you can see real well. Look at the standards in baseball. And the standards in baseball, man, Bethune-Cookman ain't playing the radio, man. And like I said, the tournament is getting ready to come up. SWAC tournament. I will be at the SWAC tournament. If you look at it, Bethune is actually running away, man. 16-2 in the conference, followed by FAM and Alabama State and Texas Southern. They all 13-5. So that's going to be actually a pretty good tournament. And then you got everybody else. After them 13-5 teams, we got everybody else. Pine Bluff, and Pine Bluff won 7 games in a row to improve to 9-6. Jackson State 8-10. Southern 7-13. Jackson State and Southern and Grambling was supposed to be the top 3 in baseball this year. But as you can find out, they down there, they scratching and surviving like good times. They hanging in the ghetto. We lucky we got them. Maga Valley has actually won 6 baseball games. Well, that's triple the output from last year. And Fairview 4-11, Alabama A&M 2-16, and Alcorn. Man, Alcorn is playing T-ball. That's what the hell Alcorn is doing. Alcorn is playing T-ball. Everybody else playing baseball. Man, bruh, Alcorn overall record is 6-30. They won 1 game in conference. And whoever they beat in conference, they need their ass whooped for losing to Alcorn. But anyway, man. But let's go to softball. And as you can see in the East, FAM 17-4. Jackson State 13-7. I told you the Lady Tigers was gonna come back. They were playing Maga Valley last weekend. You can just count them as W's, man. And Alabama State 13-8. What's that? Bethune 12-8. Alabama A&M 7-14. Damn, Maga Valley 0-18. Goodness gracious. Prairie View 17-3. Southern 11-7. Texas Southern 11-10. Grambling 8-9. Alabama, Pine Bluff 7-14. Well, at least Alcorn women, they won 5 games, so. But hey, I'll tell you what, if I had a son or a daughter that was in the sports this age, you damn right I'll be going, man, we'll be, oof. Because I want to find this little of this. Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. I'm trying to find this young man that I showed you Marvin Freeman. I want to show you how this man is developing these little baseball players, and I'm like, bro, how the hell we need I told the man to get that man a scholarship today. It's a little dude, man. He is. I found him. Hope this thing don't start glitching. Hold on, let me share this. Yeah, watch this young dude. I think he's 10. I said, man, you throwing that ball like that. Let me blow it up. Now look at this control, man. At this age, this man, look, he can start at every damn SWAC school right now.
Watch this little subtle move. As he lifts his leg, he rocks back. That makes him start falling to the target, and he's slightly behind his body, so he's going to push the ball to the plate.
All right, stay with me on this. Get set. Come set. Now, is all your weight back over the back leg?
Now watch as he shifts back, gets all his weight back. Now he lifts his leg, he can go in one direction. Now he's going to be on time with his fastball and able to throw it downhill.
All right, good. Ball and get all your weight back.
Watch this little.
Bruh, he pitched better. Hold on. That young man pitched better than 90% of the damn pitchers in the SWAC at 10 years of age. Bruh, get y'all kids into baseball, man. I'm telling you, if I ever have a grandson, whew, boy, man, me and that little joker boy, don't worry about it. You know, after he learned how to get them old English out the cooler, you gonna start pitching. I'm serious, man. That man. But hey, man, Marvin Freeman, man, I'm telling you, that brother can actually play, man. I mean, actually pitch and coach. Oh, man, look, and I know this came out last week, and it's funny to me, man. But the I say welcome to death row, and this is Tremaine Jackson. Suge Knight, and it came out, like I said, it came out last week, and a couple of people had already shared it, but I haven't shared it on mine. But the Panther Portal Understanding, welcome to Death Row. I should be playing Suge Knight or something. It says, when I follow you, there's a 4-hour window to follow back, or we done. So basically saying, hey, look, we don't need you if you don't want to follow me. Number 2, send your number, transcript, and what it says, highlight in the first message. Number 3, make sure you address my staff as coach and not bro or by first last name. Don't talk. What it says, number 4, don't ask me for NIL, which we do have when PFL has you as taking less than 200 snaps on the year. You should have gotten your money from them. Now it's time to play. Number 5, pray, talk to your family, girlfriend, dog, and other people before we offer you. Not after you take 80 visits. I'm going to want to know ASAP. We look forward to speaking to you. Now, that number 5, I think that one, all that other stuff, but that number 5, bruh, you're not dealing with corporate America. You're dealing with a 17, 18-year-old kid that's probably never received this type of attention from different schools and stuff. So number 5 is kind of questionable to me, but hey, that's his rules. I can't shake them. So that's like I said, the only one I thought was like, look, bro, hey, it's peer review. You know now. If it works, it works. But if it don't work, you're gonna have some issues, man. I'm serious. Because see, number 5, a lot of these, it's hard to get young men to come to HBCUs. We all know that. It's definitely harder to get them to stay there if they do get a little shine. But you got to understand, you're not dealing with, I'm not saying these young men are not intelligent, but you're dealing with young men that's learning their value and their worth. They're learning about how much they can contribute or they can get from the program. So I think out of all of them, I think number 5 is kind of like, hey, bro, you're pushing it a little too much. But if I'm telling you now, with those rules that you got there, my brother, you better win the SWAC West. Beating Texas Southern ain't gonna satisfy folks. Trust me. And I know the Labor Day Classic, I will be at that game, but that's not gonna be the satisfaction. You know, beating Grambling in the State Fair Classic ain't gonna be the be all. You gonna have to win the SWAC West when you talking stuff like that. Cause hey, you know how these young kids is, man. These young kids will crash out on you, man, and then walk on away. That's the last thing you want to do, man. So, but hey, his rules, I'm not gonna sit there and tell him what a coach should or shouldn't say. But like I said, that number 5, that's the only one that I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. But hey, it is what it is, man. So hopefully it work out for him. But if not, hey, that's your issues, brother. Now, and Bakari, I seen that earlier that Rembrandt took his name out of the portal. That grass, hey, Mr. Charlie Ice is not always colder, man. So if folks like thinking that just because your name is in the portal and you're gonna get picked up by somebody, or you think you're gonna get an NIL deal, you might want to think about that, man. I tell folks, you got 4 years of college eligibility, minus red shirts and injuries and stuff. You better number 1, you better take advantage of that damn education process. There's several dudes that play college football that work in Hertz rental car. If I'm going to go to college for 4 damn years, I'm not working in no damn Hertz rental car. I'm going to own a Hertz rental car. You get what I'm saying? You going up there playing around. Yeah, hey, man. So, it's what it is, man. But I did want to show this, man. I think this is Rich Sports. I think this is pretty cool. They did this about Rice. And
he wakes up every morning at 6 o'clock. He's up, he's gone, for 5-6 hours a day. He's working out.
I have never met a person that's worked harder than Jerry Rice on the football field. I've never met a person in sport who has worked harder than Jerry Rice.
There is an obsession with being better than the guy lined up opposite you. There's an obsession with being better than the guy who's brought in every year to compete with you in camp. It's an obsession. It's fanatical.
My most vivid images of Jerry Rice are him working out at the Pro Bowl. Here you are after he wins the Super Bowl. Less than a week later, he's out there running wind sprints to play in what is our only exhibition game.
I don't think about the numbers. I think about trying to be the best football player to ever put on a uniform.
And launched himself on a fitness program from hell.
Most of it was what you would consider military training. Run 3/4 of a mile, then run 10, 15 yards, then do some chin-ups, then get down and do some grass drills as quickly as you could, then run an all-out sprint. None of it had anything to do with catching a football. I thought it was the toughest thing I'd ever seen an athlete push himself through. He does things that a human being shouldn't really do. Jerry has been such a disciple of that type of training that he has people, rookies, veterans that come out here and spend the summer with him.
Now do we see that type of commitment from today's athletes? Probably not. I don't think Walter Payton. I'm waiting to find his video of him working out at Jackson State. That's another one that was like pure hell. They put their bodies through, but look at how their careers ended up. You know, like I tell people, when you talk football, especially NFL, if Jerry Rice and Walter Payton don't come out your name in your first sentence, shut up talking to me. I'm serious. I don't want to hear about no damn Tom Brady. I don't want to hear about no some little Gert Nabursky or some shit like that. I don't want to hear about none of them. The work ethic that those two men put in, it needs to be studied. I don't think a lot of these players understand how hard that these men work to be great at their craft. You know, and I'm pretty sure the scouts had doubts about both of them. But, you know, like I said, the scouts are so wrong all the time. They really don't, to me, what we get now for scouts or whatever is a bunch of either overrated players that never lived up to their hype or people that never played football. I think it was some guy that I was arguing with a while back. He was like, he a scout for the Cincinnati Bengals. I say, how the hell is that going? Everybody you drafted has been a damn disaster, except Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, which I'm pretty sure you had nothing to do with them. Drafting them. So now that's another thing. Now you're drafting wide receivers and college quarterbacks together. And but just imagine if they would have drafted Jerry Rice and Willie Totten. But you know, that's the rest is history, man. So, but anyway, man. But nobody want to come up and tell me they Mount Rushmore. That's fine. That's fine with me. That's less I got to stay up on him. But it's all good though, man. Like I said, I ain't have too much to say, but I wanted to check in bases and get with the what's the name? And yeah, I can show this. Note to the wise. I'm gonna show this before I hop off here. If you come down, listen. If you come down to Orleans, right? This is what you're not supposed to do, especially to these young brothers. I'm gonna just let the video play.
He tripping. White man tweaking. White man out here tweaking, hombre. Ooh, done.
Leave my young people alone. Hold on. Yes. Leave my young people alone if you come down to Orleans Parish. That happened last week. Bruh. These boys will crash out on you, man. Leave them folks alone, man. So that was that was something serious, man. But hey, it is what it is. That was something serious to watch. So, but anyway, man. Okay, what's going on, man?
What's going on? What's going on, man? What's going on to the chat?
Not much, man.
You asked that you say that Mount Rushmore, right?
Yeah, it don't have to be players. It can be players and coach. It can be women. It don't matter. It don't matter. But I was asking. It's Mount Rushmore has 5 people on it, and I gave out my 5. I had to leave out Doug Williams. I just couldn't put him up there over McNair. That's just my opinion. So
you know, he gonna be up there on mine next to Steve McNair.
Okay.
Him, Doug Williams, Steve McNair. Hey, you know that Doug Williams, Grambling, first black quarterback to start and win the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
First black quarterback drafted in the first round.
Then Steve McNair wasn't on social media back then, so I guess all gone didn't know how to keep that momentum going. But what Dion, what the guy that left Jackson State and went to Colorado, what he was doing at Jackson State. I tell people, if you meet anybody that was in the military, 1994, stationed in Iraq, the ROK, the Republic of South Korea, ask them what you saw on TV Mo over in Korea on Odyssey Cable, Michigan, Ohio State, SEC, or Steve McNair. That answer Steve McNair every time he did something on Odyssey Cable. So I'm telling you, then you got Walter Payton. He gonna always, for me, I'm gonna say he the best running back. Jerry Rice, the greatest wide receiver. Then we got Coach Eddie Robinson from Grambling, maybe the best coach of all time. Even though W.C. Gordon of Jackson State gave him a lot of problems, beat him, but Eddie Robinson. You know, when you do a list, Mount Rushmore, and you only giving 5 names, you're gonna leave some. You're gonna leave some great names. You're gonna leave some great names off. You know, you're gonna leave names off, like you said when you say Deacon Jones invented the sack. Excuse me. Michael Strahan from Texas Southern. Excuse me. What that cornerback Arenas? I can't ever get his name right. From Southern. You know what I'm talking about? Play it. Thank you, DB. You know what I'm talking about? I can't. So you're gonna always leave off. You're gonna always leave off some good players. Ain't nobody putting them down. Everybody gonna have their own Mount Rushmore. Not trying to look past them. Not saying they're no good. You know, the the offensive tackle that just retired from UAPB. I can't even think of his name right now. But you know who I'm talking about. So you'll leave off good players, great players. Some of them will be NFL Hall of Famers. So we're not knocking those players when we name our Mount Rushmore. That's not taking their greatness away. For me, the Mount Rushmore is going to be how good the player was and what all did the player do for the sport, not just for HBCU, right? For me, that's what I'm looking at and what I see. You know, we know Sweetness held that rushing record for a very long time. We know Sweetness was NFL MVP in 1977 or 78. Uh, we know what Jerry Rice. We know what Jerry Rice did. We know how many wins the coach Eddie Robinson had. So you know, it's all about the sport. But it's like, what did they do, and how when you can say their names, and if we could teach our youth how those names elevate HBCU football, elevate all football really, but they're HBCU, and that is something. So when those players come, they're standing on the shoulders of giants. You still there, Oren? You still there? If you are saying something, your mic going out. You might have to use the computer mic. Unhook that other mic and just go straight through the computer. So Orion, that's my Mount Rushmore. Anybody else put their Mount Rushmore, a SWAC, in the chat? What's going on, EA? Yeah, I see he done stepped off. He back now. Hey, yeah, I saw y'all got that DB out there, Porter from Connecticut. Yeah, man, go ahead, put your Mount Rushmore in there. Yeah, fam, you SWAC now. So yeah, fam, you SWAC now. I know you want to say that coach that won the 1978 one AA national championship at FAMU. I can't remember his name. Yeah, Orion having technical difficulties. All right, then.